Hello readers and writers of the internet, welcome back. First things first, yes, I am very sunburned. I can tell, I can see it, I know, I'm sorry, yes, it is painful. But this video I'm actually combining my May wrap up and then my June TBR because there isn't much to it, so I'm like, might as well. Let's get into it. We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faisal. I finally finished this book, you guys. Oh my goodness. This book wasn't my favorite. I'm not gonna lie, I liked it just fine. I give it 3 stars. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. There were just a few things, like especially towards the end, where it was like, spoiler, 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 surprise, 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 surprise. Surprise is essentially just for the sake of surprises. Like, it got to the point where I literally had to pause and be like, is that another twist? Or is that the twist? Wait, what? Like, there were a few times where they would say something, I'm like, was that a revelation? Did we already mention this, or is this a new thing? Like, I just got really, 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 really confused, and not one revelation hit as hard as they should have. Maybe if there was just 1 or 2 things like that in there, it would have been more of a punch, but I'm not kidding when I say this. There was at least 5. Yeah, my favorite character, the Prince Nazan, I believe. I liked him. He remained steady throughout the entire book. The main protagonist, Saphira, I didn't really care for. I'm not gonna lie. There were a few times where I just skipped over her chapter. I was like, yeah, I don't care, essentially. Yeah. I mean, there were just, like, a few things. I mean, like, you could see it coming, like, in terms of, like, romance and stuff like that. It wasn't terrible romance. It wasn't the worst I've ever read. I just felt like all the pieces were there to make it this really great romance. They just didn't fit properly at the time. So, I don't know. This book did leave you on a cliffhanger. I don't think I'm going to be reading the second book. I highly doubt it. Yeah, didn't hate it, didn't love it. 3 stars, just, yeah. The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. This one, I actually enjoyed. I didn't love it. I didn't love it like I loved Animal Farm or 1984 or even Hamlet or Julius Caesar. But this one I really enjoyed. I gave it 4 stars. It is essentially about this character, Dorian Gray, and someone paints a picture of him, and then he slowly starts to, like, go mad over time. The picture starts to take on qualities, so, like, his physical body wouldn't age, but the picture would age. So he looked like he was, you know, staying young, even though 10 years had passed. It reminds me of a Greek mythology story. I completely blanked on the name. Is it Icarus? It might be Icarus, where he looked at his reflection, and I think he died, or something like that. It kind of reminds me of that. I think the author really took inspiration from that story. You could really see it here. I enjoyed it. It wasn't my favorite classic, but I am glad that I read it. I might trade this one in, though, for the Books a Million classic. I'll put the picture of the cover up there. I just like it more than this one. Yeah, that's about it. And that is it for the TBR section, or the wrap-up section. Let's move into the TBRs. Fury Born, like, by Claire Legrand. I don't know about this book. I'm halfway through it, and I'm not bored per se, but there's nothing enticing me to read it. Like, I literally haven't picked this book in like 1 or 2 weeks, you know? It's not terrible. I actually enjoy, what's her face? Elena. I like her storyline much, much, much better than, what is it, Rael? Than Rael's. Rael is the character that I fear reading with strong female protagonists, and this is nothing against the author. I don't know if she gets better further down the book, but again, I'm halfway through the book. But she's one of those, you know, I'm the best fighter, I'm the fastest, I'm the smartest. And I'm not kidding when I say this. This is not an exaggeration whatsoever. Every single fight that she has been in, except for the opening title where she like snuck up on someone, yeah, she has been bested. She has been beat. She trips in every single fight. And I'm like, you're supposed to be good at this, and you're tripping. Like, people are having to save you. And Raelle is also just so naive. I guess that would be the word for it, because she works for the king or the emperor, whatever he's called. So she kills off the people who are opposing the emperor. She's like his little bounty hunter. And then she gets taken to like a rebel headquarters, and she gets mad at one of the leaders. His name is Simon. She gets mad at him for allowing the people to live in the state that they're living in. And she gets mad that, like, a little girl talks about losing her family. She gets mad at them, not at herself for causing this and for, for years hunting them down and killing them. She gets mad at them and was like, what are you doing? This is wrong. This is sick. I can't believe you. I'm going to turn you into the emperor, so then guards can attack the base that I was upset about seeing. And then, I'm not kidding, she immediately regrets it. And it was like, oh, they might die. Really? You didn't see that happening? You're a hired kill. You were hired to kill them, and you did not think that they weren't going to send men there to kill the entire base? And she's like, I can't have all these deaths on my name. You're the one who willingly lied to your brother, snuck out of the base, went to a top guy, I can't even remember his name, and told him about it. And then I think she got mad at Simon again. Because he was like, we need to go. We have to leave them. They're barricaded in there. And she's like, we can't leave them. They're in that situation because of you. Like, it just confused me. It annoyed me. Also, I haven't really gotten to a scene, like an explicit, graphic sex scene, but I have been told they're in here. I don't care if my books have graphic sex scenes. I really don't. I don't even care if they're YA books and they have sex scenes. However, it's been made clear that Raelle uses the fact that she's a girl, right, to her advantage with, like, everyone. Like, talking to Simon, she, like, you can hear her thoughts, and she's like, I don't, like, she doesn't actually say this, but it's something along the lines of, like, oh, push out my chest and give him the doe eyes, or make him feel bad, or make him long me or want me. But it's clear that with almost every sexual encounter thus far, she doesn't want to do it. Like, she's like, I guess I have to. But in reality, and again, I'm not blaming her, I just think it could have been written or explained a bit differently. She's the one putting her body out there and being like, oh, look at me, look at me, look at me, I'm so sexy, I'm so pretty, blah, blah, blah. And then when guys are like, oh, sleep with me, she's like, okay, like, did you not expect that? Like, did you not? And I don't know if there's commentary later down the line with this book involving that. If there is, that's great. But thus far, there isn't. It's really annoying me. Elena's storyline I like. I wish it was just her. I'm just annoyed. I don't know if I want to be continuing to read this. I don't even know if I'm going to waste a credit on Audible to finish this. I honestly do not know. Okay. Nod by Adrian Barnes. I'm on chapter 4 of this book. It's okay. It's okay. I quickly concluded that this book is written more literally. Literary. There we go. Literary. Than like an actual plot / characters, that kind of stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. I enjoy literary books. Picture of Dorian Gray. That was pretty much a literary book. George Orwell, he writes literary. Shakespeare, obviously, all that kind of stuff. And I read like a review, and someone was like, I think it was actually Mark Lawrence, which I actually really enjoyed his Cruel Prince, or no, not Cruel Prince, his Prince of Thorns duology. I forget what it's actually called. Like the series name, but I actually enjoyed that, or trilogy. Actually, really enjoyed that. But he was like, a lot of people are not gonna like this because it is written more literary, and I'm like, okay, I can kind of see that. I don't mind it, but thus far, like the philosophical questions that our protagonist arises, I think his name is Paul. So far, they don't really relate to the story. Like, if it would have been, like, I don't know, everyone loses sleep, and then he kind of reflects on, like, capitalism, or, like, the electronic industry, or something like that, like, or even, like, the day that everyone slept, it was, like, worldwide news that no one had slept. And I don't believe he even reflected on that and be like, technology, look at this. We have information spilling in within seconds, whereas, in the 1900s, this would have taken days, if not weeks, to get across to everyone to realize that we were all going through the same thing. And he hasn't reflected upon, like, the related stuff. Like, he does some stuff, but it's not really related. Yeah, I mean, it's probably too early to tell, but I was really excited for this book. I am an insomniac. So I was like, yes, lack of sleep, finally sleep deprivation. I know there's a real thing called, I think it's like suicide insomnia, where you literally cannot sleep and it gets to the point where you just die because your body shuts down. I think it takes like 2 weeks. That's exactly what's happening here. I'm like, it's gonna be great, and that so far isn't happening. So yeah, also another weird thing is, like, on day 2, their city already has like a system in play for buying food and stuff like that. They already have tents set up. They already have a new currency. Like $5 can get you like a can of beans, And I'm like, that's fast. That's just really, 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 really fast. I expected it to take slower, but it is what it is. Again, probably too early to tell. Yeah. Hell of Smoke by H.M. Long. This book I'm almost done with. I just got that little shred right there. I'm actually thoroughly enjoying this book. This one, I believe, follows Vikings. Like it's more focused on like Norse mythology as opposed to a medieval kind of setting, if that makes sense at all. So that's kind of cool. And then the way the gods are set up, that's also really cool, and it's kind of unique, and I really enjoyed it. There were a few parts in this book where it kind of drags, but then it like comes back around in a later part, and you're like, that's why that had to happen. That's why that had to be here. Okay, I understand. I'm sorry for doubting you. H.M. Long, you did great. So yeah, I'm actually thoroughly enjoying this book. I hope to finish it. I think I can finish this like in the next week or two. So yeah, really excited. And then I am too lazy to undo the stack, so I'm just gonna kind of point out the books that I'm probably gonna read next. By the way, I did a new book haul. I'll link the video up there for you guys, so go watch it. So that's what all these new books are. But I'll probably read This Savage Song next. Then a Grace here. It's between these three. But yeah, I'm just really excited, and that's really all I have for you guys. Thank you as always for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. And it means the world to me if you follow me on all my other social media, since it's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Those will be listed down in the description below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!